Hello, and welcome to the Table and Well podcast. I'm Tennison.
And I'm Ginelle. Thank you for joining us as we discuss topics and give practical tools that help you live, grow, and be in healthy, joy-filled relationship with God, yourself, and others.
For more information and resources, or if you're looking for coaching, connection, and community, visit tableandwell.org. We hope you enjoy this podcast. You are listening to Fingerprints, how God is transforming the relational health of his family. All throughout this series, you will hear transformational stories from everyday people just like you. But what if this transformation isn't just for them? What if it's for you too? I want to let you know that it is for you as well. And that's why we've created Relational Collabs, intentional spaces where this type of transformation becomes real. These are small, safe communities where you will practice the skills that will help you grow and build joy, rebuild your trust, enable you to stay present in the middle of hard moments, help you deeply connect to God, yourself, and others, and experience the authentic connection that your heart was designed for. See, this is more than just another class or a book study or even a Bible study. This is real life. This is hands-on. This is heart-connected, and it's changing lives. If you're tired of disconnection, and if you're longing for something more, don't just listen to these stories, become one. For more information, or to join our fall collabs starting in September, go to tableandwell.org/collabs. You were never meant to walk this journey alone. And your healing is part of how God is leaving his fingerprints in the transformation of the relational health of his family.
So let's talk a little bit about how you've seen your relational health growth affect your family and friends. Curious, what changes have you seen in your immediate family or in your other relationships?
For me, I guess with our adult kids, being more present. I've always been a bit of a multitasker, or thought I was a multitasker. Proactive is probably a better word for it.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, even when our youngest lives with us in another part of the house, and so when he comes up to make his meals or whatever, like he'll start talking about his day, and I'm really trying to purposely put down my phone, close my computer, and just engage with him, like look into his eyes and hear him go on about his day, and um, just really just listen, just be present for him. And that's been a change. And then even with friendships too, I get very excited when I learn something new. So I'm quite often talking about, oh, we learned this in the collabs this week. You and your husband should really join the next session. Just such and such and such. And so I expect there'll be more people joining in the fall, but yeah.
Let's do it. I'm excited.
Let's go.
I love that. Yeah. Ken, how about you? How have you seen a change in family and friend relationships?
Well, certainly the same type of thing when it comes to friends and relationships, like wanting to share, seeing, situations where, boy, if you only knew this little trick that we've learned,
Yeah.
it would be so helpful in your life. So yeah, certainly wanting to share and invest in people and pour into people, but more in like a personal side of things, finding more compassion, more time, less focus on like being the problem solver. My mind is always going to how to fix it. What's the best result we can get out of this? And not only for other people, but for myself. Like when I'm doing something, it's, oh, if I did it that way next time, it would be better. It would be faster. It would be, so it was always a personal challenge to myself too. But like I said, that wasn't always received that way. And especially with the kids where, they're coming to me with, look what I drew today. And I'm like, well, if you used the blue color there, it would have, it wasn't the heart to be down.
Yeah. Yep.
but it was my natural way of processing. So being more conscious of that and finding grace and for myself to not have to fix, to not have to improve, to be more engaging, more patient, and
Yeah.
What does that look like now in your relationship with your kids? Like, how do you see yourself responding differently?
Like Jane said, being more engaging,
Mhm.
making sure that I am RC's on. Okay, yes, set my whatever I'm working on, shut the TV off, close the computer, put the phone, whatever it
good.
is. When I'm out in the garage working on something, if my son comes in and wants to talk, like stop and listen. So yes, being more conscious of it is making a difference, giving them that time.
Yeah.
That, listening with both ears, not just half of one.
Yes.
That's good.
And I'm recognizing too, that the ways, because when you start learning these new tools and these new truths, if you're a reflective person, contemplative person, you might look back in the history and go, "Oh, this is where I could have done that differently, raising the kids in
Mhm.
this." Um, recognizing that we can still make a difference now. It's not like
Yes.
regret. We don't have to live in resentment or whatever. Like, um, we can move forward and just, and people are a lot more, I find people are a lot more forgiving than maybe I've given them credit for. Like when they
It's
think
good.
when they sense your heart is genuine and authentic and you're coming from a more of a pure place, a
Yeah.
humble place,
Yep.
we're willing to receive that, asking of forgiveness or that fresh start. Not everybody, not
Yeah.
everybody, but
Mhm.
even if it's one person,
Hey,
makes
yes.
a difference. Makes a
Yeah.
difference. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, we all want better relationships.
Mhm.
And when we can bring new tools to the table and try those out, it gives us all hope for a new way forward and and toward what we all wanted in the first place, but maybe didn't know how to do in the past.
Yeah.
I think that's so true for all of us and many of us at this stage of life where were these tools and ideas like
Goodness, yeah.
25 years ago? That would have been helpful.
Yes, so helpful.
Helpful in our marriage, helpful in raising our kids. But I love the way you put it, Jane. Like it's not too late. We do get a second chance at this, and yeah, and that is the gift of it all.
Yeah.
So I'm curious because a lot of these skills have been invited into your church environment. We came and did a training. Has it already been?
October.
Yeah, almost a year ago now. 9 months ago, and I'm curious, how are you seeing these skills affect your church body and your community?
I personally haven't seen that much change yet.
Okay.
Okay.
I think it's still in that embryonic stage where people are trying to learn the skills.
Yep.
But we also on Sundays, particularly, we also serve like with responsibilities. So we're not having that many conversations in on a Sunday with people.
Mhm.
But the number of people that I know that have engaged with Table and Well tools and the material, I haven't heard of anybody that has said that they don't want to use the tools. They've all the ones I have had conversations with outside of Sundays
Mhm.
have said they're enjoying it.
Mm.
I love that.
So it's been, I think it's just going to take a little longer than perhaps the pastors that brought you guys in. I think it's going to take a little longer than what they had anticipate to shift the culture.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For me, I lead the usher team and do all of the training for new ushers and everything. And so there's some things that I've been talking culture or speaking culture of ushering for a couple of years now. Lord really had it on my heart to spend more time talking about, the heart of what we try and do, avoiding conflict, avoiding offense,
Mhm.
managing that as a congregation, bringing peace and all of that kind of stuff. Where was I going with that?
That's making a subtle
No,
difference.
it's making a subtle difference in how I train people. Even within the training, I'm passionate about what I do and the vision I have for this. So when I'm training new ushers, I literally apologize right up front, just saying, "Look, I'm super passionate about this. Need to understand this is my heart is for this."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I come across
Intense.
brash, intense, overbearing, give me some grace, because it's not my heart, it's how I process. There's
Yeah.
a lot of so there's certainly that side of it, and trying to more bring the culture, the honor of what we do as one group there. But I'm also on another board, where we're looking at, you always have to be looking at the future, like what is our plan for the building, adding on, modifying, where's growth, what are we doing in the future, projecting out. And we just recently, let's say, reset this board or this group. And there's a few different people than we've engaged with before. But one of the interesting things is that several of the people on this board have done the training. So in this kickoff meeting, we literally spent a good chunk of the meeting, let's say, talking about what is the heart of our future, where, and we should all do some Emmanuel journaling about what the Lord is showing us about this group,
Quieting.
and quieting, and
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
reflective time, and make sure we're following the Lord's direction as a group.
Love that.
Because if we do all of that and we have the heart and the identity that the Lord has for us for the future, that will be so much easier as a leadership group to be able to and create that picture for a congregation, which, of course, everybody's got their own opinion of, we shouldn't be renting, we should be owning. And then the next one,
Yeah.
all of the worldly stuff that comes in with that. If we, as the leadership group, start with what's the Lord saying about this and what's the heart, it's so much easier to relay that and paint that picture for a congregation for unity. Yes, I've seen the direct influence of some of this training in that board. It's a totally new way to kick off a
Yeah, it's not just logistical. I think when Ken was speaking, I was like, well, I sense probably that I haven't picked up on perhaps at our church over the last 9 months or so, is that the spirit of the atmosphere has shifted. Like, it hasn't necessarily been a physically tangible thing that can be observed that way, but it's probably is something that's shifting. So it's intriguing, because I'm actually going to look for it more now. Look for the joy in people's faces. That has been something, that eye contact and just holding a gaze for a moment. And know that I see you. I'm so glad that you came today, even if this is your first time or your 400th time. I'm so glad to see you. Actually, now that I think about it, that has been increasing. Wow.
I love that. Yeah. I'm just thinking, as you guys are both talking, it is, we said this in the labs, like it takes a long time. It takes like 3 years before these skills become, quote unquote, second nature, as they become like part of you and embodied in you. But as you're going along, there's these little things that you'll see, that's like you guys are talking about along the way, that then, obviously without the little things, you don't get the big, you don't see the big change, or the big kind of like, all of a sudden relationally, you wake up one day and it's like, oh wow, we're a totally different group of people in this building, and that's what will happen is as you keep practicing and growing in these spaces, I mean, I can say that for our marriage, it was like we were very consciously doing these skills and trying to, in our connection with each other. And, you wake up one day and it's like, then you reflect back and like, oh, yeah, that's who we are. Yeah. And you don't know how you got there. You don't know when the shift happened. You just know that it happened. And so,
I
Yeah, 'cause
agree. Like, even I don't know if you recall some of our collabs, online here, where Ken will say something, I'm like, "Who are you?"
yeah, I know. Those are great.
I got to see a different depth of him or side of him with you guys witnessing it.
Yeah.
yeah.
It was a real curiosity for me. I'm like, "Where did that come from? That's amazing." Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Yep.
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 That was such a privilege
Yes.
to witness.
Those are
So
great
cute.
moments. And yeah, just keep going because it only gets better. The more you practice, it just gets deeper and um yeah, just more transformative. And then,
Mhm.
like I said, one day you wake up and you're somebody different
Yeah.
and you don't know how you got there.
And I'm so excited for you guys as elders in your community.
Yes. Yeah.
I know we've talked a lot about it here on the podcast. I don't know that we've talked really directly with you guys about that, but um, collabs are about maturing you to that point. Have you guys thought much about it, about what it looks like for you guys to be elders in your community?
well, I'm starting to come to terms with the word. Doesn't necessarily mean, what a lot of people think of as it's an old person sitting on
hmm
giving advice or giving opinion.
hmm
Other people I'm still learning about this area because I'm like, okay, just because I'm the age I'm at doesn't mean I'm mature in every area.
Right.
And
Right.
recognizing that and not putting on a facade, like just being really real with people. And like,
Good.
if I think I can speak to their request or their need, then who do I know that I can refer them to that
Yeah.
could to their
hmm
desire or need? And there's no shame in that. There's no toxic shame in that.
Right.
Right. Yeah. It,
It's just community. It's part of being community where you do life all together.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And that response, Jane, that's an elder response. Like that understanding that I mean really it is understanding that I don't know everything. I've lived a lot of life and I do know a lot of things and there's things that I can help you with and guide you and move you, but part of being an elder is completely understanding like I don't know that. And so I'm going to direct you to someone who does, who can help you. And I'm not going to try to fix it to save my own ego because elders don't need that. It's like,
Right.
Right.
I don't know. Let me go. Let's find out together. Or actually, this person actually is really good at that. Let me connect you to them and they can walk you through that.
Thank you for that. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the strengths of the teaching, even like as you guys came in and did it, multiple people at our church, the connecting of people at such an intimate way and how quickly that intimacy comes
Yeah.
that you wouldn't normally find yourself with
Yeah.
is very freeing. And I think that is also propagating through the church of, oh, well, I didn't think I'd like them and I love them, and yeah,
Yeah.
let's try, like it
Yeah.
frees you up to connect with more
I
people,
love that.
get outside of our little groups and our cliques and our, you know, the prejudgment that we have on somebody. So
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're,
the immediacy of intimacy in the small groups through this is amazing.
I have a story I don't know that you guys know about, but, when you guys came and did the training with some of the leaders there, and then we were supposed to practice for 6 weeks or
yes.
whatever for a while. Well, the group that we, ended up with, most of us didn't wanna be with each other, and that was confessed at the first time we met together.
I love it. Okay.
One of the people in the group said, "You know what? I'm not really happy about this arrangement of who's in this group. I don't even know if I like you." And I was thinking the same thing inside, but I didn't realize it. And so I'm like, "Thank you for saying that, 'cause that's a really interesting comment," and that's all I said. But you know what? We after not even before the 6 weeks were up, like, probably after the 3rd or 4th time of getting together, we actually brought it up in, one of our gatherings, like, "I actually really like you." Like, I don't know why I was making that judgment so early on,
Yeah.
and the one person actually will come across the church to come and give me a hug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is amazing. Like, we only met for the 6 weeks, and then we were
Yeah.
for our other
Yeah.
things. I'm just like, "Wow," because of what Kevin's saying, like, we went deep, intentionally deep, so
Mhm.
quick
Yeah.
that it was
And
just a miracle, really.
like in that, because you're doing it through the teaching, I think the intimacy comes so much quicker and more natural than, just another Bible study or just another,
Mhm.
because not that they're bad, but they come with their own, this is our focus.
Mhm.
So here, where it's based on truly getting to your
Yeah.
heart, yeah, that the speed of that intimacy is amazing.
I think you touched on it when you said heart.
Mhm.
Like, I think because it wasn't a task per se, it was like, "Okay, let's open up our hearts, let's
Yeah.
tools to get us going," but we were all entering at that time, we were all entering on the same, ground kinda thing, like, none of us
Mhm.
were doing
Yep.
this together, and
Mhm.
I think that itself bonded us, and just giving each other grace when we took turns leading,
Yep. Mhm.
and just giving a little bit of feedback if that was invited,
Mhm.
and just the way it's structured, like the checking in and the how
Yeah.
can we you were really, really good tools for us to learn, to use
Yeah.
any just in our
Yep.
group.
Hey, friends, we have some really important news that we want to share with you of what we're doing here at Table and Well.
If we've had the honor to walk with you, you all know how much we care about helping people connect with God, themselves, and others.
After 5 years of retreats and collabs and workshops and community tables, we have seen and heard countless stories of families being restored, of marriages being healed, and leaders living more joyfully and maturely. So because of that, we're going to take this summer and put our full attention to completing our relational discipleship curriculum. This is so we can help to deepen and widen our reach and the transformation that we are seeing in the lives of those that we're walking with.
Yeah, it is the thing that people keep asking for, and it's honestly what we wish we had 20 years ago.
Absolutely. I mean, it's really practical, it's accessible, and it's rooted in the transformation that we've seen in you and really in ourselves as well.
Yep. But here's the honest part. Table and Well is about $3,000 a month short in our financial goals and what we need to be able to finish this curriculum with the time investment that it takes.
And summer is always the hardest part financially. And without your support, we're going to have to put a pause on development and tremendously scale some things back moving towards the fall.
So we're inviting you. If Table and Well, if our work has impacted your life, your family, your church, we're inviting you to help us carry this forward.
Yeah, see, your one-time gift of $50, $100, $500 would be amazing, and any gift is truly appreciated. But really what we're asking, what we're needing right now is monthly support. What we're looking for and asking is for 15 people to give at least $200 a month. If you could do that, that would take care of our immediate needs.
Yes, and 25 people at $200 a month would really help set us up well as we go into the fall.
Yeah.
Twice as many as that would actually ensure that Table and Well is sustainable well into 2026, which would be absolutely amazing.
Yes.
So together, we are bringing relationships back to life.
Yes, so thank you for your support and walking with us on this journey.
Thank you.
I love that. And what I hear you saying too is that, and Janelle and I talk about this a lot too. It's like what you gather around is what you always will come back to in your relationship. So like the reason you're getting together in your groups for those 6 weeks was to, one, to practice, but two, to grow in maturity and connection and heart connectivity. And so now that's what you guys in your group are always going to come back to, is going to be that space of intimacy and connectivity, which is, absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The agreement was, you know what? We're going to show up and try for 6 weeks, seeing, hearing, and getting to know each other, and to show up well. And I'm going to practice also being seen, being heard, and being known, and being open to other people responding to me the best that they can. And you want to try that?
Yeah.
You know? And so then your bond is built on seeing, hearing, and knowing each other.
Yeah.
And from that, you can do anything.
Yeah, anything. Go
like
anywhere.
Teaching scripture, sharing about Jesus, leading worship, whatever the thing is that we end up tending to gather around is those talents or those interests. Golfing, you know. But it's like if we're gathering around knowing one another, then everything else is on top of that. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And you know, like you said though, but in the rhythms and then the guardrails that are there for safety and connection also help speed up that connecting process, because you feel safe knowing that I can share this and the person to my right's not going to try to fix it, or they're not going to try to give me advice that I don't want. I know that I can share this and that it's a safe place for me to do that. And I think that's a huge, again, it's those skills. What's really neat about this too, you guys know this, but there's so many skills that you guys have gone a little deeper now since you've been in the labs that are taught without any teaching when you do those rhythms around the table.
Yeah.
And which is awesome, because now you guys have a kind of a under the hood go, oh, this is the reason why, and this is why we do this, and this is why we ask, and we don't just jump into this because it creates this space, and this is happening in their brain, in their heart when this is all happening. Like you have a kind of a pill under the hood, but you can bring anybody in, which you guys have done, but anybody in, set those guidelines, set those rhythms, model, and the same thing will happen over and over and over again. Yeah.
Well, and that's just in the small group, being able to share and receive, and then have the knowledge of, you know, infant maturity is all about learning to receive. Like not all of us learn to actually receive. So
yes,
freedom in a group, the intimacy in a group. Okay, here I go. I'm going to throw it out there. And then to be able to receive just, you know, love, appreciation, you know, not correction.
Yeah.
Is huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
huge.
love that. Absolutely love that.
That's huge.
All right. I've got one more question. I don't know if you have any other questions, but I'm curious, because we talked a lot about the collabs, and you are in them. Like you said, by the time this airs, actually you'll have been out of them for a few weeks. But I'm curious, just what has been your favorite lesson or your favorite kind of nugget that you've grabbed from our previous 23 weeks together in the collabs? And caveat to that, in that, have you seen that? Where have you also seen that maybe show up in your life since you've grabbed that little nugget or your favorite piece there?
I think each week has been my favorite because there's been value and an ability or a opportunity to grasp something from each lesson. But what comes to the top today is attachment lessons. I'd already had studied a little bit on that, but just going over it with the group was really, really helpful. And I'm just seeing how much that does affect people's lives. Is if the attachment was not secure, and it hasn't developed into a secure attachment with themselves or God or others, how that kind of is like a heavy anchor in life. Like it doesn't really allow a person to move in the capacity that God designed them to move in.
Yeah.
So I think that's huge. That area is really huge. And then the second one would be the joy aspect.
Yeah.
That we
I love that.
Agree with Jane. You know, there's so much stuff, and every week is something new. And I I spent a lot of time out walking, listening to podcasts, and would come back every day, mind blown with what I just heard, you know. I think overall the understanding of relational maturity and the stages in its simplicity is just complex, but it just explains so much, and it really ties everything together.
Yeah.
I think between the two of us too, we're recognizing where we're at in our maturity in some areas in life. It's given us more compassion, more grace for each other,
Yeah.
and the ability to converse about it. We're able to have conversation about it and not just you need to change or what's wrong with you or what's wrong with me. Why am I like this? And just there, like it actually gives you an ability or a grace to flow in conversation and explore it with the Lord.
Yeah.
Platform to work from.
Yeah.
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 I love that. Yep.
Turns out we all are on the same journey.
Right.
Turns out we're all struggling at it.
Yep. Yeah.
Right? It turns out we just had weather in different places along the way. Some of us had more sun in some spots and more storms and harsh winds in others, And it's like, oh, right. But we're all just trying to walk this along.
Yep.
And yeah, there is a lot more grace for that.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So one last question for you. We see you guys as elders and I know you're working that direction and believing that for yourselves. Thankfully, much like parents, we're handed a newborn baby and we get lots of time to develop as parents, right? And I continue to talk to people who have adult children and we talk about how nobody told us about this part of parenting. Everybody talks about parenting till you're 18 and then or till your kids are 18 and then you're done, right?
The hook.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Sure. Anyway, all of that to say, eldering is a similar journey where we get to start small and grow over the course of many years. And there is no arriving, just like there is no arriving in parenthood. And there is no technical time when it's over until we're gone. So as elders in the family of God, I'm really curious, what is your dream over what it might look like for us to be a safe, healthy family?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm recognizing that the Lord's been whispering that to my heart all of my life. To see people and be curious about them and for how he's designed them uniquely. And yet there's a commonality there that you can connect to because connection's one of the core values I hold dear. And so going forward, I could just see that expanding more and more, definitely outside of the church setting, just in going through life, shopping, connecting with, workers or whatever, just seeing people. I actually had an opportunity a couple weeks ago in a store. I walked in and was flustered because we couldn't find the storefront because there was no signage. And I walked in and I turned to my right immediately. I was looking for one thing. And I'm a shopper that just likes to go in and get out with my whatever I came in for. And all of a sudden this short little person is right next to me, in my practically touching my body with her body. How can I help you find it? What did you come in for today? All these questions. And I was like, whoa. And up from somewhere within me, I went, excuse me, can you just let me look for what I came in for, please? And then I heard myself. I'm like, oh my gosh, where did that come from? And so I went over to the area I needed to be in, and another salesperson came over and she stood at a distance. Find what you're looking for. I said, yes, thank you, and whatever. And then I just felt Holy Spirit was just stirring, bubbling, bubbling, bubbling. I felt fire inside, and I'm like, I have to go find that person and apologize. So I did find her, our paths crossed, and I said, hey, I just need to apologize to you for the way I answered you when I first came in the store, and um, I was frustrated, and that wasn't fair to you. but I found myself touching her.
Mm.
Put my hand on her shoulder like she was in a prayer line. I told the whole story that was inappropriate for me to answer you that way, and I apologized. And she goes, "Oh, no problem, no problem." I said, "No, really, and I'm just trying to get her to receive my apology." It was just another one of those little things where God's like, you know, whispering to Jesus, "Look what's gonna happen." And
Yeah.
it was, humbling, and yeah, I'm like, I got out to the car and said to Ken, "This is what just happened," and that was for me, that was evidence of growth in me.
Mhm.
That I didn't just dismiss it and judge that person as being rude or, they shouldn't have been in my space, and don't they know that's my pet peeve that when I get pounced on by a salesperson. Um, how quickly Holy Spirit reminded me
Mm.
how I respond to people really makes a difference in their life and their day, even if it was the one time our paths crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just had the feeling when I left the store that Holy Spirit prompted me to apologize and to look her in the eye to let her know that I saw her and how I treated her wasn't appropriate.
Yeah.
That made a difference for her.
Yeah.
It certainly made a difference for me, and I wouldn't doubt that she probably talked to the other sales lady either.
Mhm.
Um, they were both kind of in proximity when that happened, and just that opportunity was huge. So it's kind of off the grid of what your question was, but it just came back to me. I'm like, yeah, like that's evidence outside of a church setting where, we can shine a light of humility and almost asking for forgiveness.
Mhm.
Um, they we're not supposed to be. I wasn't acting my best self.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was being powerful. I was acting protective and defensive. And so just recognizing that was a gift to me.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
I treasure that, even though it was hard at the time. I
Yeah.
treasure it.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's really
Yeah.
good.
And I hear you saying, Jane, like part of being that safe, healthy family of God is not always getting it right the first time, but making it right
Yeah.
when we realize that maybe we haven't been as kind as we could be, or we're not being as safe or healthy as we could be.
Mm.
And that's
It's good.
powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. Thanks for sharing that.
All right, Ken, what's your dream?
What was it?
Do you need me to repeat it?
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm good. Yeah, certainly more embracing the term elder and just realizing the honor that is behind it.
Mm.
The honor we're both very involved in the church. Like we lead different teams, we associate with a lot of different people. So acknowledging while others may see us as, one of the power families or one of, like doing it which is fine if it's done from that place of humility and we do have the opportunity, the privilege, the responsibility to be an influence in people's life.
Mhm.
And doing it from the humility side. It's not about me.
Mhm.
Being humble, this is all about getting people connected with the Lord and doing it with that openness. Is if everybody bought into that, what a wonderful world we would have, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And within that, accepting that and having some training and verbiage to help define or describe or understand how people are reacting, why they're reacting, leading with those inquisitive questions of, okay, what's behind this? What's helping people through that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That really speaks to me is just, yeah.
Yeah, the generations too of, um, our family expanding in the near future, like, I just recognize, like, what an opportunity to even if it's not this grand, "I'm gonna save the world with Jesus" type of thing, what if it's just in your own family? What if it's just in your own neighborhood?
Yeah.
There is a ripple effect, and you don't know how that those acts of kindness and that's being with somebody no matter what, how that's gonna ripple out, like and we may not ever know
Mhm.
the ripple effect, but what a gift to be able to have the opportunity to
Yeah.
participate with and partner with the Lord on that. And
Yeah. I love that. Well, guys, thank you very much. It's been an honor and a privilege to have this conversation with you guys. And I'm looking forward to, just seeing how this really, as you continue to grow, just how that ripple effect that you're talking about, Jane, ripples out from you guys into your family, into your community, into your church, and all its places. And it's been really neat to also hear just literally, and with the name of our series here, but his fingerprints are like over everything that you guys are doing, and it was just a joy and a privilege to hear that. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being who you are, and we're just glad to have this conversation. We're glad to know you, and we're looking forward to seeing you in person again really, really soon.
Thank you for the honor of having this conversation with you. It's been great.
Yeah.
Privilege and an honor.
And an honor. Thanks, guys.
Right now, so much of God's family is living disconnected. We've learned how to manage, perform, and survive, but we haven't been taught how to stay present, how to live from joy, or how to truly connect with God, ourselves, or each other. That's where you come in. At Table and Well, we're helping people rebuild what's been lost. We're guiding them back into life-giving connection, where joy is practiced, presence is possible, and relationships are restored. And when you give, especially as monthly supporters, you become part of this relational revival. You make it possible for someone to enter a space where it's normal to be seen, known, heard, and safe, where community isn't just talked about, it's experienced, where joy isn't the reward at the end of healing, it's the foundation we build from. As one participant said, not only do I have the tools to stay connected to myself and others in the middle of heavy and big emotions, I can. This is the kind of transformation your partnership makes possible. You have the opportunity to help restore the relational health of God's family, to develop healthy people who build safe communities where joy can be felt, received, and sustained. This doesn't happen by accident. It happens because people just like you say yes. Go to tableandwell.org/#give and become a monthly supporter today. Together, let's help the family of God become the safe and healthy family that we and the world both need.